All right, we're here. You've heard the new music. I found new elevator music just for you all because I thought it was time to switch it up a bit. I do really like the old elevator or whatever they call themselves, but the new one's pretty good too. So clapping for the start of the stream. All right. I do have my sidekick today. Where is she? There she is, and now she's here.
Hello, good morning. Hello, everybody.
And it's a black t-shirt. I did see that, Joel. Yeah, good on you. Uh, telling the future from the internet. Dave Wilson's here. There's all kinds of people here.
Hi, Dave. Andy was here first. I saw
Andy,
that.
Andy is here.
Hello. Good afternoon, Andy.
Fixum Dude is here. Mike's an awesome person.
Eat tea. All right, no problem. We'll see you in a little bit.
Uh, um, Sergio's here. Mike's here.
Hi,
It's gonna be a good
Sergio.
day.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Have you kissed your 3D printer today? Not today. We have a very interesting relationship as far as, affection and how much damage it does to me, whatever time it might be. All right, so the bear build. Greg is here. Greg is an important part of the bear. So we're kind of going old school. If you didn't catch, this is the third stream for this whole thing. I've kind of taken parts. I had a bear frame. I had that already, but I have a lot of parts, as you can probably imagine, from different things, from teardowns, from all kinds of different stuff. People want me to try things, good stuff like that. So I thought it would just be fun for the first part of the year here to do some streams, build one of these bear frames, a bear printer, a Prusa-like printer with the spare parts that I could find. And we've done pretty good so far. And mostly it's just a regular bear build at this point. We really haven't changed up much. We've got the extruded frame, all the bear parts. We do have a little bit different hardware, and it's probably hard for you to see because there's a box over there. We have a little bit different hardware. We had some black smooth rods and some black Z screws, so we jazzed it up a bit, but it's looking good. Now we start turning the corner here. Today we're going to build the extruder. There's many options that we could go through. There's a specific bear extruder build for this, an upgraded version of the Prusa style extruder that Greg has designed. And these are the X parts for that extruder design. So that's what we're going to start with. I've got all the parts for that. It's mainly Prusa parts, but different printed parts. They go on in a different fashion. We're going to install that. But as you know, there's extruder parts, there's the Hotend, there's fans, there's all different kinds of choices that we could make to change this up a bit. So we'll talk through all of that while we're building. But mostly, as always, the most important part of this is to take the time to hang out with all of you and talk about whatever food item or Star Wars movie happens to come into view. So there you go. There's the beginning spiel. So now I will run around and find parts while we see what's going on in chat.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Do you need a super Pinda? He has lots of them. Sergio has a whole bunch
I would
of them.
never turn down a super Pinda, but I do believe that we've got a couple.
I think you
it's
do.
just the amount of looking for stuff that we're going to do today. We need to talk about Hotends. I got this Fetus. This is a Dragon 5 BMO. It's really close to a V6, but I don't know if it's close enough that we can use it. So we're going to chat about that. We got printed parts, of course.
I think everybody's really digging the color scheme you have going here, the black and red. It looks really cool.
It's actually much cooler than I thought it would be.
It looks
honestly.
neat.
It
Yeah.
looks really good. We need some gears. I do have a couple of different Hotends, but for this first configuration, I don't expect to stay in this same configuration. I would like to go to the orbiter at some point, but we're going to have to create some custom parts. And I don't quite have the time to do that at the moment. So we're going to start with Bear Extruder and just see how it works, because I've never put one together before. And it does go with the original V6. A lot of these Hotends are really close to that. I don't know which ones we can use again, but we're going to figure all that out today. Also, we needed something else. I was thinking we needed some other parts. Hotend parts. We got to cut a PTFE tube. What was I thinking that I should go grab before we get started on this? Fans. That's what we need. We need to look at fans. So fans are going to be another thing we have to deal with based on whatever board we choose. Which Big Tree Tech said that they were going to take care of us in that regard. I don't know exactly what they're sending, but it will take a while. So I'm hoping by the time we make it to the next stream in 2 weeks, we'll have all of our parts from them. But you have choices with fans because 5 volt, 12 volt, 24 volt. And a lot of the boards now you can switch down to whatever voltage you want. But some boards you have to have a module to do that. And those aren't always that easy to get. Plus, I'm really not looking to spend any extra money. I'd like to use the parts that I have. So we'll have to dig around in the fans box. If you want to know how many fans it takes to be on YouTube doing 3D printing, it's this many.
Many fans.
That's how many fans you have to have.
That's a lot of fans.
So buy some extra fans, and then you can start a YouTube channel.
Oh, Fix Some Dude is here.
Awesome. Yep, Mike, he was on. Grinder. Nice. A box of only fans. Yeah. But not my biggest fan. I'm a fan already. Insert fan joke here.
That's right. Make with the puns.
All right. Let's see what we're doing here. We got parts. Now let's build something. So the Bear Extruder uses a little longer. It's like the old school PTFE tube. It's 50 millimeter. So we will start by cutting one of those. And of course, Greg has a little jig we can use to cut that.
Well, how is everybody? How's the weather been? This week for us, it's been really nice. I mean, almost 60 and 60 plus a couple of days, but in the 50s and 60s. Hi, Jeremy. In the 50s and 60s, pretty much all week. It's been really nice. We've been able to get outside and walk before dinner. That's always nice, like walking. And it's been great. How's everybody else doing? By way of weather. I don't know what's going to happen. Normally we get a cold snap around this time, but no, we got it early this year, I think.
Yeah, I mean we're getting into February here. There's still time to completely devastate it.
Oh, we'll have another one, and we'll definitely get another snow. We need another. We don't need one, but
it's starting to look promising.
Spring snow. Little snow and rain in northern Arizona, yeah. Little rainy today, rain tonight, and then into tomorrow morning, and then we'll be in the 50s next week, which is fine by me. I don't even mind like 40s and 30s as long as the sun's shining, not like a true Midwesterner. As long as the sun's shining, it's not too bad. But it's that cold that I just can't stand it. It hurts me to my bones. I am freezing all the time. That's nice, Sergio, and yeah, that's nice. Cold mornings for Sergio and afternoons in the 60s again next week. So excellent.
All right.
I think we got 1 or 2 days in the 60s for us. That'll be great. Hi, Tom. How are you? Here in my country, a Solval 6 and a Feisnick NK3 clone are the same price. Which one would you get?
Just based on my experience, and this is just my opinion and what I've endured over the years. Sovol does a better job of pretty much everything than Feistek does. Um, that Feistek, that being an MK3, I shouldn't say Mark III clone, um, it might be okay, but I've seen Feistek do some crazy stuff, and so I would stay away from them if I could. Probably not a bad purchase, I'm not trying to say that, but if I had a choice, I would go with Sovol because I do think they do a better job. So there you go. That's just my opinion. Probably both a fine choice though.
There you go. Let's see here. The groundhog did predict an early spring for us. That's nice. I don't know. We watched the movie, about 1.5 times, I'd say. 1.5 times we watched Groundhog Day. It plays continuously on AMC.
You can usually find somebody doing a marathon of Groundhog Day.
Yeah, so we watched it 1.5 times. Maybe the PTFE tube will need a different length with this Hotend.
Oh, good call.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
We're gonna find out. Greg says. Greg said that, by the way.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, Maker Vikings here. Good morning.
I do have, where is it? I do have a V6 that we could compare it with. At least we could measure the tube, but I think it's really beat up. We're gonna have to repair it.
Yeah, I saw that, California, Sergio. I saw that California's getting some pretty wicked weather. That El Nino, bad for them, good for us. Like mild winters in the Midwest because of El Nino, but it gets nasty over there for those guys. They got flooding and real bad rain, and it's kind of a mess over there. It seems like California too. It sways one way and then it sways the other, right? So it's either a drought or you got more rain than you can handle. That stinks.
What does a real V6 even look like? It's been so long. This one doesn't have the insert in it, so I don't know where it came from. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. NASCAR. You forgot about Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Yes. It's nice to be outside, Jeremy. Yeah, feels good. I'm glad.
I need one more part.
Have you seen the pic of the groundhog's ex-wife? She said he's a constant liar. The groundhog is wrong more often than he's right. But this is, early spring is what we want. So that's what we're going to believe him this time.
He's a constant liar. This is a real one. How do you tell the difference between a fake V6 and a real V6? That seems like a question that I should know the answer to.
NASCAR starts there tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm mistaken. I thought it started with the Daytona 500s, but Mike says that NASCAR is on tonight. Well, I hope it's not delayed or something. I hope you can watch your NASCAR, Mike.
All right. What does he say about... He says 3.5 to 4 millimeters. Did we mark that last time? Yeah, that's pretty close just by eyeballing it. Of course, I walked off with all of the... I got my sweet new giant ruler. We could just use that.
We're not going to make it to Rocky Mountain this year. We did a lot of traveling last year, and we're going to take it easy. I think we are going to go to Murph. So far, the plan is to go to Murph, but I think we're going to skip Rocky Mountain this year.
Speaking of Murph, I was thinking about that the other day. Have they announced that, like what the official dates are? Or
I
anything?
have not heard anything, but they like to keep us on our toes.
Well, yeah, but
I'm assuming that it's going to be around the same weekend. And
I
are they even doing it?
Well, I usually thought it would be earlier than this when they would tell us the date, but maybe I'm wrong.
Jeremy Humphrey says, I love how clean your room is. I wish I could make that happen here. I always have too many projects tore apart at once, and then the bits of plastic that end up from all the testing.
You just don't see the disaster parts.
I was just gonna say that this is
magic.
the only clean part of this room. That and where I sit is relatively clean. So.
Well, you can kind of, here, let's go full screen on you for a second. So if
No.
if you take a look over there, kind of on to the right, that's more of like what it actually looks like around here.
Can you guys see it? There you go.
Yeah, you can see it. So that's kind of more of a traditional Chris's basement setting where everything's piled in piles, and I can't find anything.
At least it's stacked neatly. You can see stacked neatly. It's not just
until I need something, and then I just dig one out, and the rest falls on the floor, and I'll pick it up later.
Yes, correct.
I was told when these streams started that there was a rule to having a co-host, and the rule was having a clear path to walk to her chair.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't make that happen. There's just too much cool stuff in the way.
Somebody said I'm a hoarder. It's me. I'm the hoarder.
325. Well, let's see what kind of hardware we got left.
Hello, Michael. Have a good day.
And I do have a set of Bondtech gears, but their condition is sketchy at best.
Sorry I'm late. Benchy time yet? Rolling on the floor laughing.
I like that it knows some of the names of those faces now. That's pretty good. Andrew Rogers, thank you very much for the $10. It is much appreciated. It is not Benchy time yet, but think of how nice it will be when it is Benchy time. All right.
Mike's trying to clean up his, or Sergio's trying to clean up his place now. It's amazing how much stuff you accumulate, especially when you're printing and laser engraving and doing all that. It sneaks up on you, that's for sure.
Well, you get busy and can't stop to clean up anything. That's when I know that I'm at my limit, is when I actually feel the need to stop and clean up, because I can no longer keep up with the controlled wobble.
Yeah, Jeremy's waiting on his shed, and then I'm sure Angie will appreciate having a place to put all that stuff. I have a hard time with clutter. I keep things pretty tidy. Place for everything and everything in its place.
Kind of like, you know, you ever had one of those dogs that you can see it on their face, they really want to be good, but they just can't resist getting the food off the counter. You know, it's like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but it's so tasty. That's me in organization. I want to be organized. I really do. From the core of my being, I just can't make it happen.
I would agree with that. The effort is there. He really tried.
I really try, and then I fail.
He buys little drawers. He buys organization stuff. I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to put all of my stuff in there, and everything's going to be nice and neat. And, you know.
Don't happen.
He means well. Although you can walk. I mean, you got to watch your step through here, through the basement. You got to watch your step, but there's a path.
Yeah.
I
know where most everything is now. I was a lot worse before we did the remodel.
He's gotten a lot better.
I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's really what it boils down to. You got to let some stuff go. And I understand though that
that's hard.
It's too good to throw away.
Yeah.
Too good to throw away. I feel that way about stuff. And yeah, and so, but who are you going to give it to, you know? Or who's going to take it off your hands? And then you're enabling somebody else.
Well,
you're just giving them your stuff.
Well, and you know, I don't like to just say, well, that's your problem, but you know, then it's your problem. That's your significant other's problem.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly. You're just passing the buck.
You know, we're friends and all, but
Oh. Tom
Sure,
Llama
yeah.
says, I hate dust collection junk. If I haven't used it in a year, I think about tossing it. If I haven't used it in 2 years, I get rid of it. You know, I'm kind of the same way. About once a year, do my little spring cleaning thing, and I go through every drawer and every closet, and if I haven't worn it in the past year, then it's got to go. And we have almost a Goodwill box, almost constantly running, constantly going. Box for Goodwill, and then when it fills up, I take it, and then we start another box. But maybe 1 or 2 boxes a year, I think. Depends on what we're doing. We were just discussing a larger coffee pot, so the smaller coffee pot will go into the Goodwill box.
So that's what I need, is just a little bit more coffee.
Well, we were discussing it this morning, and that's really, I could use 1 more cup. I mean, the weekends are dicey, and we're not going to get out of not making another pot of coffee because it's Saturday. But like through the week, I could use 1 more cup, but I don't want to have to make a pot. So I think we could get by with 18 if we're an 18 cup. What do we have? 12 now. So
12, yeah.
12 now. I think if we could find an 18 cup pot or a 14 cup pot, we'll be in good shape.
But that's also kind of cause and effect, and that's what I was trying to you know, I don't want to throw down logic about coffee, but if we made more coffee, we'd just drink more coffee. So we'd be in this exact same boat. We would have just had more coffee.
Right. But when we make more coffee, we have to make a minimum of like 6 cups, or it just turns out weird. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, and
the ratios of coffee are very important.
exactly. So, yeah. But if we made 18 cups from the get, then the balance will be, you know, everything will be good. So there you go. Yeah. The stairs are clear, Joel. Joel says the stairs can be treacherous. They're clear. We don't mess with.
Don't mess with the stairs.
Keep the stairs clear. I'm very clumsy. I do nothing on the stairs. That 1 second step is bad enough. Jeremy Lucas says he tries to. It's hard. It's hard to stay organized. When you are a creative person, I think your mind is everywhere, and I think that it's difficult for you guys. Anyway, yeah. Well, Andrew Rogers says I might need that dongle for a device that died 10 years ago, though.
I have a whole box of that. I have a whole box of that.
Yes.
The unused organizer fund.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
$10. That is awesome. I will. I'll see what kind of Rubbermaid items I can find to purchase with that $10
Yes.
to get me organized.
If only you had some sort of device that could make organizers.
Still looking for it.
Yeah. Murph is in Goshen, Indiana.
It is.
Jeremy, where specifically are you located in the East Coast? It's not a terrible, I mean, talk to Sergio about it. I think for Midnight Giant, it took him 10 hours from Maine. So it's not, I don't think think about that. It is good. I donate my stuff. Now Tom wants coffee. Make another pot. More, what?
Fresh pot.
Fresh pot. Anyway, let's see. Thank you. Let's see. Tom Llama has a 35 cup. We don't need
35.
Good Lord, we're gonna fly
Whoa.
right out of here. Yeah. That's about it. Sergio makes 12 cups. That's usually what he has. Now, and yes, 12 cups means actual 12 cups. That's 12 8-ounce cups. And nobody here, we drink, you're drinking 12-ounce cups. So really, what does that come out to?
Not enough, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes out to. I just did the math in my head.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yeah. Murph is 9 to 10 hours from Mike Fancy. That's not terrible, Mike. I mean, it's kind of a long drive by yourself, but That's not awful. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem too. Like cleaning up takes time, and it does. Like I can spend a whole day cleaning things up, uh, and I feel like I don't have any time the way it is.
Mm.
I more. It seems like more often now than ever before. I sit down at the end of the night, right before bed, and go, "Man, I didn't get anything done today," and I don't know why that is, but it feels like I get less done as time goes on.
Falling asleep through Michigan is an issue.
Well, if you're driving, it certainly is.
Yeah, that's a little wet. Yeah. We have the same problem driving through Kansas.
I'm waiting for it to say Sergio's thing.
Me too. Well, I don't think it, I think he
There it
typo.
goes.
I'll contribute you to that.
Whatever it is, Sergio, I love it. Thank you for the
Thank
20.
you, Sergio. Oh, yeah. Border crossing. Yeah, you got to get across the border.
All right. And then we have some square nuts.
Tom Llama does Keurig, right? Is that what that is? Keurig or single serve. It is always a fresh cup, that's for sure. I don't know. Then you feel like you, but that might put me in the too much coffee zone. Is the
Plus, I kind of like coffee that's been sitting there burning a while. Honestly, I got a taste for it. Fresh coffee is just eh. After it's been in the pot 3 or 4 hours, then it gets really good.
Jeremy Lucas, 8 hours. Yeah, not super. Yeah, that's us too, Jeremy. About 8 hours. Not bad at all. Fix Some Dude says, as a Midwesterner / Texan, I can relate to 9 hours isn't that bad. LOL. You know what? Anything under 12 can be done in a day. I mean,
how
12's
true.
about my limit, though. We went from Mount Rushmore all the way home in one day, and that was a solid 12-hour drive. And I was done. By
was
then,
fine.
I was done. It was okay, but I was done. No more driving. So 12 hours for me. But now when I was younger, you know, we could get on the road and it wouldn't be that big a deal. But yeah, 9 hours isn't that bad at all. Ohio is, yes. I don't want to, Ohio is a long drive. That's a big state. It is deceptively large, I would say, Ohio.
Yeah, but most of it you don't have to deal with. We as Midwesterners just have to deal with Cincinnati. The rest of it we can just ignore.
Well, that's true. Nebraska, Kansas, Nebraska got corn.
Got corn. Yep, they do. They got corn.
Sergio's cleaning up. He got some storage boxes. Now it's up in the attic where you'll never see it again.
That's where things go to stay for the next resident.
And then it becomes your child's problem.
Yeah.
And explaining then to Order Guard at Detroit that 3D printed bang bangs are stupid and add about 30 minutes. Yeah. They always ask, don't they?
They always ask me.
Yeah, they always ask. Somebody says 8 hours is their max. Need food, need sleep. The older you get. But the older you get, the more time you have, too. So you can take 2 days to get where you're going. So, hypermotive racing says Virginia is north to south, and it's a hole. Virginia north to south is a hole. Hello, hypermotive racing. Pennsylvania turnpikes, long and boring. I think every region has their
Their own personal.
Yeah, they're sort of their
Bearing straight.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're driving endless driving.
I used to have a whole stack of those little magnets that they use in these filament sensors. And I usually stick them like right on the side of the toolbox, but I know that there's a little stack of those magnets sticking around somewhere.
Tom Llama has an Apple II in his attic. Where and it'll stay there. Yeah, Arkansas. At least Arkansas is small, though. I mean, relatively small when you compare it to. Well, it's a relatively small state. I mean, like compared to like Missouri and Kansas, and at least it's little.
Bottom left to top right. That's interesting.
What's that?
And he said, Mike Fixum Dude says he's driven from bottom left to top right. I've been to top right Arkansas in that area. We're talking like, if we're looking at the map, many times to a little place called Pocahontas, Arkansas.
Oh,
and
my.
let me tell you, if you're looking for a good time in a town of 30 people, Pocahontas is where it's at.
Oh my. Yes, and I see how what you guys are saying with the diagonal across Arkansas. Yes, I was thinking north south or yes, but you're right. I could see that being
Man, there's just so many choices we could make here. What was I looking for again? Magnets, that's right.
magnets. We have some upstairs.
This thing. Man, we're gonna get like every box known to man out of here. Where would those be? I have another set of those. Oh, maybe I put it. See, there's a box just with labeled Prusa stuff. Maybe that's where they're at. Well, let's just get another box of stuff.
Ah,
out, shall we?
Lambert's in Missouri. Yeah, get rolls thrown at you.
Is that place still open?
I think so. I mean, it's in Ozark area. Honestly, I don't know if it's still open. I remember we had chicken fried steak once with mashed potatoes, and they serve it in like a pan, like a skillet. It's good. And we got rolls thrown at us. And then you put your paper towel down on the table. They have paper towels there on the table. You put your table, and then somebody comes by with okra and just spoons it onto your fried okra and just spoons it onto your paper towel. So you get snacks while you're waiting for your food.
That's also. I don't even know where this place is, but if I had to guess where this place was, it was Las Vegas. But I just saw a really short clip. It says, "Would you eat here?" And this gal walks up to the counter and throws a burger and fries down in front of both these guys. Like the fries come out of the basket. Like she just tosses them down and she gives them both the bird and walks off. Like, okay.
I don't know. I don't know
A
if
little
I eat there or not,
but
but I enjoy watching other people eat there.
my first thought was, what did she do to that food before she came to the table? But yeah. Now I think I have enough boxes of stuff that we're ready to go.
Sergio says Tennessee's the worst to drive across in a VW bus. Going up through the mountains, it should. Oh God, forget it. Nope. At least Kansas is all highway, and I think it's 80 or 85 through there too. I mean, like you can just fly. Still takes 12 hours, but you can fly through it.
Yeah. George, yes, they do have pins in them for the X and Y idlers instead of using a bolt. At one time, and I think I have one of these kits that I've never opened. Let me find it real quick. I'm gonna come around this way. I think it's this kit. Maybe. At one time, there were kits available from LDO that if you had a Bear 2.0, you could upgrade to 2.1. And that's what this is right here. It's a different set of hardware, but I don't know if these contain those pins. If they do, it's a great low-cost way to get said pins. So let's find out together, shall we? We do get stickers.
Andy's back. Hi, Andy. Tell Eddie, and Eddie says hello. Hi, Eddie. Andy, we're talking about road trips and like long road trips and terrible highways here in the States. Well, not like terribly built, just long drives. There you go. Let's see. Back it up a little bit, maybe.
Maybe it's not on autofocus. There you go. So there's those 2 pins. So this is a 2.0 to 2.1 upgrade hardware kit, and let's see if they're still for sale. I have a feeling I get this a lot. A lot of the stuff that I talk about, like, hey, you can get this kit, they don't sell it anymore. So let's see if the kit's still available. Bear. It is, and the whole thing, you get a couple handfuls of hardware for $20. There you go.
Yay.
So if anybody needs a little extra hardware, those pins are still in there. But yes, you can source these pins yourself, all that good stuff, but there is also a kit. So now we have all kinds of good extra parts too if we need them. All right, what's next?
Ricky's here. Hi, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Ricky Tanner. Alrighty. Like some dude says that he never would have been able to find that box that quickly. That's the partial organizing that we...
I just happen to know where that one was for some reason. I had that one locked in my mind. Okay, magnets. Back to magnets.
Yeah. Andy's longest road trip didn't have any roads. It was through the desert.
I'll bet.
Sounds bumpy.
The only problem with these magnets is they jump out of there if you don't get them in fast enough.
Yeah. And we're back to parts hoarding. Yes.
Hey, those are still in the box. That means they're still there. It's not hoarding.
It's not hoarding if it's still in the box.
Now, if I opened it and threw them on the floor, then that turns into hoarding.
Absolutely.
All right, filament sensor. Insert the same orientation into the extruder body. Do not insert the filament sensor lever yet. Verify.
Longest driving journey was almost 24 hours nonstop. Couldn't do it. Were
Yeah.
you driving, Jose, or did you guys go in shifts, or how did that go? Chris, it's pretty much your fault that I ordered a chameleon filament changer last night.
Uh-oh.
All thanks to your build series. Hopefully, you'll sign my setup at Murph or at Rocky Mountain. We'll go to Murph, I think, this year.
I'm sorry about forcing you to, or being a catalyst to you ordering the chameleon. We'll be in this together at the very least. So let's just say that. The chameleon's going pretty good. I don't even know where Froggy is. Froggy should be our mascot for this stream. I go to go find him. I've done some pretty successful prints with Prusa Mint, but the thing that I've come to realize is that every filament interacts a little bit different when you're trying. The whole goal to multi-material through a single hot end is shaping that tip so that you can pull it back through the mechanism and then load another one. And if you don't get the perfect shape that your specific setup likes, I mean, it's not even like, it's even going to be particular to whatever hot end or extruder setup you have. Some are going to tolerate more than others. If you don't get that just right, you're screwed all the way. So if you don't, even if you're using the same brand, if you're not using the same type, like for instance, there's PLA and then there's PLA blend, you can't really mix those much unless you know exactly what the tolerances are of all those filaments and you get it set up just right in the slicer. Like, I even tried to mix 2 brands of solid PLA, and the results are just kind of all over the place. So if you have a brand you like and it works in the Chameleon, don't mess with it. I mean, if you're doing the filament swap method like I'm trying to show you in the series, that's where 3D Clippy comes in. So 3D Clippy is the cutter. So you get a fresh tip every time that you load the filament. That will alleviate all of these problems. But that's going to be in like part 4 or whatever. So even if you have one now and you're not successful because of filament swapping and how it treats the end of the filament, never fear. Bill has a solution for that. It's going to be a little bit later. I would like to be able to tune in all of the filaments first in case somebody doesn't want to use the clipping mechanism. So we'll get it one way or another, though. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. We'll get it.
Get organized. Cup is accessible, but not in the...
She has one 3x18 area over there, and she's already organizing that. So
I like everything.
that shows the difference.
I like it where I like it. There you go. Let's see. I'm just trying to sort through this. We got talking about road trips and 3D Chameleon and
5 things at once.
yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, Prusa Mini with the stock Hotend is really fussy about tip shape when loading. The Revro Micro fixes that issue. There you go.
Really? That's interesting. So you've had luck with the micro.
Yeah.
Cool. I looked through the Hotends, like considering one for this build, just to refresh my memory of what's out there. And again, I don't want to spend a ton of money on this because there's so many parts that we could already use. I did look at getting a Revo 6, so something that would directly take the place of a V6, and it was like $90 to get into that ecosystem. So I thought, I'll just use what I got for now, and we'll save the money for something else.
Which extruder did you say you were using with this?
This is the Bear extruder, so it's a rework of the Prusa extruder that uses Bondtech gears. So it's I've always wanted to build one of these just to see what the differences were. So that's the feeder we're using, and then we have yet to make a call on the Hotend, which we're going to get ready to do here in a minute.
The Bear Extruder V1 is only a few screws and the dowel pin. No need to have special kit for it. V2 will be another story, Greg says. What was it like printing in 2019? He's only been in it since 23. LOL. Ha ha ha. Back in the olden days.
Back in my day.
What was it?
Only has a few screws in the dowel pin. No need to have special kit for it. V2 will be another story. Okay.
Zelda wants to see the frog. Where is it? And I'll go get it.
Well, that's the good question. I don't know where it is.
I think I see something over there on the cart, but
Yeah, there he is.
there you go. Back before time. No kidding. What was that first printer that you had? That one that was in your office?
Yeah, my first 3D printer was a extremely inexpensive G-Tech acrylic kit.
G-Tech.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go. There it is.
Froggy.
Froggy friend. Leave him on the desk. I don't know where.
Someplace where...
There you go. Out of the way, but that's a good spot.
Here, there, he can hang out right here for now.
Perfect.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, G-Tech with a lot of extra E's.
It's all right.
Oh yeah. Filament sensor. This requires like a very tiny little screw.
Oh, the G-Tech, somebody says.
Yep.
PTFE lined hot ends everywhere.
Yep.
A lot has changed since 2019. We used to be amazed and happy regardless of the brand if we got good prints. Now we bicker and argue over which company we support. Eh,
Well, some of us do.
some of us do. You remember, Paul McDonald remembers sitting on the streams in 2019, still deciding what to mod on. My first Ender 3, LOL, gave me the confidence to convert my A8 metal frame to a bear.
Nice.
There you go. And he says, thank you, Mr. Riley.
It seems so weird, and I do appreciate it. I mean, you guys, everyone has, been right there with me on this whole thing. And
Yeah.
I've been doing this since 17.
Yeah.
On YouTube. We started printing earlier, like in 16 or even earlier than
a
that.
long
But
time ago.
we started on YouTube in 17, and there are still folks that come to the stream that were on my very first one, and that's just amazing to me. And like, it's 2024. We've been doing this for years, and it's still just as interesting as it was then. I think it's just different.
Yeah. Sergio just got the new, is that Sunlu
Yeah.
filament dryer from Kickstarter, and it dries 4 rolls at the same time. Does it work good?
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that want a bigger dryer. So if you can recommend one, I mean, I know a lot of folks will be very appreciative of that. I still like the idea of just those big square food dehydrators, but they might take a whole lot of juice. I don't know. It might not be that very efficient.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Jeremy, or Zelda likes your frog.
awesome.
It turned out pretty good. And then, let's see here. Yeah, little froggy guy helped convince me to try out a chameleon. Go for it.
There you go.
Brand bickering happened in 2019 too.
Yeah, it did.
My third printer was a Sun Hokey acrylic frame.
There you go.
Everything i3 design.
Yeah.
An open boxed hermit crab that I haven't installed on the printer yet. What is a hermit crab?
Hermit crab. I've seen those before. They're pretty unique. Hermit crab. Somebody was telling me about it, and now I can't remember what they told me.
Somebody asked if you still use the hang printer. Not in a long time.
A long time. I need to catch up with that. I guess they won part of that legal battle. There was some company that tried to patent troll it. They grabbed a hold of the patent, and then he had no longer any rights to it. And I guess they won part of that. So I need to catch up with him and see what's up, because he was working on a couple of different things. Maybe we can go to a new version. But the version I have just takes a long time to get to work.
Sergio says he got it yesterday and put some rolls in it last night. You'll have to keep us posted.
Nice. Greg had a very nice comment. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Greg.
I appreciate the uniqueness. We just do what feels right. That's all we do.
Yeah.
All right. We were talking about hermit crab.
Are you going to need custom firmware with this extruder?
Well, with this extruder, that'd be a great question for Greg. Oh yeah, hermit crab is that tool swapping plate. It's kind of like the mutant. If you've ever seen the Wham Bam mutant, you put the plate, put the plate on, and then you can slide tools in and out if you want to build them as a thing.
Nice.
You can link chameleons together, and I'm not exactly sure how all that's gonna work yet. But you can go it's just limited by your slicer, and I think Prusa slicer goes all the way to like 32 now. I'm gonna look into that, but there's also some things that have developed which I hadn't contemplated before, but now that people are starting to mention it in the comments, I'm like, that's a really good idea. The Chameleon has the control board with the micro switch and everything. There's no need to actually do that. If you were running Clipper, you could do it in Marlin, but I'd have to work with Scott or Keith or somebody to make sure that we had everything in place correctly. You could do it, but it would be easier in Clipper for us to write the code. But you could just plug the motors for the Chameleon and that micro switch into the board, into your main board, and then write a macro to do that flipping. Like you go touch that switch, it would just do it. So I think that is a great idea, but it would take me writing a bunch of code, or not a bunch of code, but I'd have to figure it out first. So we might check that out too. But that would make it like much more open source than it is today. I know that there was a whole bunch of things that I missed.
Yeah. Let's see. The Sunlu can monitor the humidity and turns on when it hits a certain humidity level. And that is a nice feature. I bet, yes, it is.
That is awesome.
Somebody said about linking chameleons together. You can link the chameleons together.
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
Yeah, so the Chameleon, in its stock configuration, when you buy it from 3D Chameleon, they have a micro switch that you just go tap it, and that sets 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it does a few other things. But technically, you could just keep adding them on. So you've got a 4-way splitter, you could add a 4-way splitter on any of those 4 ways. So you could just keep going. But you'd have to have a way to touch that switch, right? You would have to have multiple locations to go to. Just like, okay, I need 5 through 8, or what would it be? 8? Yeah, I need 5 through 8. So you would have to go over here, and now I need 9 through 12. So I'd have to go over here. If you had it all on one board and you just wrote it in code and told it what pin that you wanted to trigger to get to that Chameleon, that would be much easier. So yeah, let's get 2 colors working good first. Then we'll move to 4. Then 45. No, I don't know. It has to be an odd number though. I don't want to do evens.
But Chameleon FAQ website says it'll support for 32.
Yeah, 32, and that's the maximum right now of Prusa Slicer. So, I mean, you could go even further than that if the slicer could handle it, but 32 is a pretty lofty goal.
Hi, Jerry. How are you? Good morning, 3DHP.
Here. Awesome. Jerry is always so nice, and he invites me to his Saturday streams, and I always have something going on during that time, and I feel terrible that I never join, but he still offers, and that's why he's super awesome. Eventually, I will make it to one of those, I swear. I've been on one, but it's been a long time.
Joel had to go. He might be back.
See you, Joel. Greasing roller bearings for the extruder. I'll give you just quick updates. Yes. Froggy's head's just quite a little bit in the way of mine. There we go. What did Zelda say the other night? She's like, "What's his name?" And I said, "Well, I call him Froggy."
Yes.
We have a frog. He's like 20 years old, an aquatic frog. And Zelda was looking at him and said, Jeffrey. I don't remember what she named him now. She's probably on.
Timmy or
I don't know, Jimmy. Jimmy, I think.
Jimmy the frog.
So his
I
name's
don't
Jimmy.
recall. Yes. No, we.
George is now with us on Basement Bragging Rights. Awesome. YouTube
Hi,
membership.
George. Thanks. All right.
We're not just a YouTube channel. We're your 3D printing pals.
Hey, Joel left. John arrives. Well, we've been here 5 minutes, but been doing something. Uh,
Frustrating fusion. Hey,
Yeah.
I hear that.
Good morning, John.
William Martin Harris. Hello.
Currently repurposing an old V1 rep box to help my 3D chameleon.
There you go. I haven't really decided what to do. I built a little buffer, like it was kind of reminiscent of the original Prusa buffer, just with the slots. I built one of those. I'm not super happy with it, as I wasn't happy before, but I was trying to do something quick. Now I'm looking again at like, what should I do? The Mark III, or the MMU3 buffer is really nice, but it requires a lot of parts. Like there's little bearings and pins and stuff in there to assemble it, and I like the cassettes and everything, but I don't want to source all the parts to build one. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to... It definitely needs something, though, because that's been the biggest part of my failures, have been the filament getting hung up on stuff. You know what? This pin isn't long enough. Maybe that's not a Bondtech pin.
George gifted 5 Riley memberships. Chris Riley memberships. Thank you,
Awesome.
George.
Thank
That's
you,
very
George.
nice of you. Thanks.
Yeah, that's not the right pin for this. Or it can't be anyway. That must be a... Unless there's a longer one that goes with this kit.
Hello, Maurice. How are you? Member for 3 months. Thank you. I'm so glad. Jeremy Humphrey says, get a large Rubbermaid container and Inkbird PID controller and a heater and fan combo, and just put it inside. And it'll dry all your filament at once, and you can print out of it.
There you go.
There you go. That's clever.
Oh, maybe I just had the wrong pin. Here's a longer one. I bet this is it. What that one's for.
Pick some dude says, I love the MMU3, but I struggle with the buffer. It seems like filament management is a bigger problem than it should be. You know what I mean? It's something...
It seems like such a simple thing.
It does.
Pulling filament off a spool and then dealing with it somehow. It seems like such... I don't know. It drives me crazy because it's so important, but doesn't seem like it should be. The best thing to do is like to have a permanent setup, which not a lot of people can do. But you need about, I don't know, 5 feet in between the spool and the machine. That way you can just do whatever it feels like. Because we're talking about, you know, maybe 300 millimeters of filament that it backs out. You have to deal with that part. But yeah, I have not found... I mean, I think the MMU3 buffer is the best... The RMU buffer is the best one I've ever seen, made by the Wedge Group. But next to that, Prusa did a pretty good job about the MMU3 buffer, but we're still not there yet. There's more to be done. I just don't know what it is. As soon as I figure it out, I'll let you all know.
Yeah. The downfall with Clipper is the fact that you have to choose between Marlin or Clipper version. Yeah, it's been John, it's been really nice this week for January and February. For this time of year, it's been beautiful, and we love it as long as we can get outside. And then he says it's 114 where he is. That's real hot. Real hot.
Thank you, Greg. I finally found it. I had a short one in there for some reason. I don't know what it was, but thank you.
All right.
And I think I got it.
Mike Fancy still says, I prefer the RMU to the MMU3 buffers, but the MMU3 one has been working for me. That's good.
Yeah. I really like that RMU. I actually sent them an email the other night. I was just sitting there thinking, like, man, I really hate filament management. I said, you know what? We need an RMU for the chameleon. And I sent them an email. I was like, you guys should make an RMU for it. And they're like, well, we've looked at it, and we can't figure out a good way to integrate it on the printer and all that. And I'm like, well, I guess that's fair, but you could still make one for me.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yay. John suggested a counterweight, like a weight to hang on the filament to kind of pull it down.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would work. Uh,
I don't know. I've thought and thought about that. Like, what's the best solution?
we're building a Prusa Bear. Prusa Bear kit. And tell me one more time what extruder you're using.
This is the Bear Extruder. So
Bear
it's
Extruder.
basically the same extruder, but the parts have been redesigned, so it's a little bit different. I would say it's a little bit more efficient design than the stock one. But I've never put one together before, so that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
There's several different versions for the Bear. You can do like a Bear Mara, you can do the Bondtech Bear, and then you can do this one, or you can just do the stock Prusa one. But this one actually has designed X parts and all that to go with it. That's why I wanted to try it out. Plus, Greg's a friend of the channel, and he developed all this stuff, so we should try it out.
There you go. Maurice says just put a big nut between the spool and the MMU. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You make it snappy, but we need something. We have
to overcomplicate this.
That's right. We have to Tim the tool time this and make it very difficult.
All right. So we got our PT. Now, here's where this comes in. So
Bear strudel sounds like some kind of baked good I'd like to try. Me too.
Bear strudel.
Rubber bands and tubes,
Yeah.
it says.
Let's see what we got here. This guy, I grabbed one.
I want some bear strudel.
Bear strudel.
What is it? Sounds yummy.
We have bear claws. Is that
Bear
kind of the same
claws.
thing? So the only thing I don't, man.
Greg Wade's extruder. Do you know?
Yeah, that's old school. That's like the one with the giant gear on it. Back when we were running 3mm filament. Shane's here. Awesome.
Chameleon concerns me though with the shaking of the splitters above the hot end. Does that affect the print quality? Because I don't have any issue like that with my 12 color changer.
12 color changer? Why are you using the Chameleon if you have an awesome 12 color changer? No, I'm just kidding. Because why not? That's why. We don't
'Cause you
ask.
can.
We try not to ask why.
Don't ask why.
I don't know. I mean that's a great point, because there is a lot of load above there, and I thought about that. Like we really need some sort of mount, flexible mount, to control that splitter a little bit better. But there is also vertical fluctuation, so we'll find out. I often also wonder of how many teeth that filament's been through. It gets chewed up, so that would actually change the shape of it. So yet another variable that we should consider.
Sergio's got to go. Duty calls. All right, Serge. See you later.
Sergio.
5 times BTT SFS V2 that triggers a stepper that winds the spool back up. Complex enough? Yes. Well, we'll see. How often does it mess up? Because that would determine how complex it is. If it messes up a lot, then we're in.
I was thinking that the Fetus was going to be quite a bit heavier because it has a bimetallic black. It's only 7 grams, 7 grams different. So it's not that much heavier. And it is really close to the same shape.
Mike says that he remembers the Wade's extruder. Had some variant on his Xbot first printer. Am I saying that right? Xbot?
I had to see it.
Mike Fancy?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Mike's been in this a while. He could have had something real crazy at the beginning of this.
Jeremy Humphrey's got a video of the smart filament buffer. Take a look at it.
Cool.
So
All right.
check it out. Okay. What do we got going here?
So we're going to see, Greg brought up a point that would this hot end cause the tube length to differ, and so that's what we're going to check out. Let's see.
Okay,
made
here
a
we
tube.
go.
Let's see. So on the V6, you get about 17 millimeters of gap at the top. And millimeters are hard to see. Yeah, 17 millimeters of gap. On, what do they call this again? The Dragonfly. The Dragonfly is just, it appears to just be a coupler. You don't get any, well, yeah, you get some. Man, it is a millimeter shy of what the V6 is. And we're going to do that again because it's so close. We're at 16 on the Dragonfly. And 17 on the V6. A little bit more than 17 on the V6. Greg, do you think that would be enough to mess it up? Let's move to the next phase here while we're thinking about that. Do they fit in the same housing decently? Where would the nozzle tip be? Where's the nozzle for this? Here it is.
Mike says close enough.
Close enough.
A J-bolt with weights added as needed is simple to hang on the filament. I was initially thinking those toys Diablo, the cone thing on string between the sticks. Oh, but rotation could be an issue. Yeah. Still discussing filament management.
These are the kinds of engineers I like to hang out with.
Yeah.
So the Dragonfly, and again, we're just kind of eyeballing here.
You can try to insert the hot end and see where the PTFE ends up below the gear. 1 millimeter difference might be okay, Greg says.
Okay. So nozzle tip is about 17 on the Dragonfly. And it's, I don't care. I mean, we can use the V6. I just thought, you know, we change it up a little bit. We've used a V6 on everything since the beginning of time.
Change it up.
Yeah. Well, we have it. So
Yeah, let's use it.
it's almost identical as far as placement. The only other aspect I would consider would be cooling, but I'm going to tell you that the Dragonfly is probably more efficient anyway because of the way the barrel is designed. So let's go for this, and if we need, well, let's try what Greg said and see where it lands with the gears. And if I need to make just a little bit longer tube, we'll do that.
All right, so we're going to go with the Dragonfly.
We're going with the Dragonfly. This is Thetis Dragonfly BMO.
There you are.
Hey, we have cool stuff in here. What do we got? Wrenches and, oh, there's a thermistor blank. You can use that for like, you know, you got the thermistors with the metal tube coupler thing, and then you have just glass bead. That's a metal tube that you could use the glass bead with if you needed to
Cool.
protect it.
Hack Monkey's here. Hello.
Hey, Scott.
We're putting together the extruder.
It's real close. I mean,
I think the V6 is more efficient for cooling, but I never tried it. Greg says. Depends on the fan.
okay.
Well, and we have fans aplenty. If you were here earlier, we have all the fans, so it shouldn't be a
The
problem.
V6 is a little nicer fit in the printed part because the heatsink is bigger. Like, it's a little nice, it's a little more snug in the part, which concerns me a little. But given that they're both ring mounted, I don't think that's going to matter much after you get it all sandwiched up. It probably shouldn't be touching the part anyway, but...
Ah, I remember a video by a YouTuber that just let go and hope for the best. If I remember correctly, he printed the melted Rubik's Cube in that video. It took me, I was reading that comment and reading, and I remembered the Rubik's Cube, but I also remember filament management was a problem in that video. It was everywhere. You had to come down and fuss with it a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean,
during the print.
I would spend like hours, like,
oh man,
walking down here and minding it, just for the video.
I remember how stressed you were.
I
about
didn't want
that
to stop it.
print. Oh my god, very stressed out about that print, and it was like a 24-hour print.
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah,
Just
more
some
than that.
ridiculous amount of time. I remember you fussing with that thing in the middle of the night. I remember you getting up and messing with it.
Yep, I did. I would get up at like 4 a.m. and like check on it.
What a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, good stuff. I try not to do that kind of stuff anymore, but it still happens.
Hello. Yeah. You can swap it out later, Greg says, if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario.
Emmanuel's here. Hello, Emmanuel.
Let's go with it.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I agree.
All right. Well, Fadus will be happy. I have no relationship with those folks, but LDO seems to like them, so that's what we do. Okay. So we'll leave this set here like this a wise. Set this over here for now. I guess I could just go ahead and use the heater and thermistor off of this. I have this thermistor. Let's continue building, and then I'll deal with that. Okay. I'm having a great time.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, yes.
I'm glad.
I hope everyone else is having a great time.
It's been a pretty good day so far.
Last Saturday was awesome. I don't even remember what happened, but I was in a great mood.
Everything was great. It was a good day.
It was a good day.
How wide is that widest point? I need to know if I have room on my dresser for my bedroom. I'm not sure what you mean.
Where?
I just read a comment out loud.
George, maybe there was one before that.
He might be answering somebody. Yes.
Oh, for the bear, you need to know if there's room on your dresser for the bear. I can measure it for you. The bear kit. Okay. So I'm guessing at the widest it is. Will my ruler even do this? Oh, barely. The widest is for your X, right? Probably. Yeah. So. Sorry, Froggy, going for a ride. So if you count the Y carriage, and you're gonna have a little bit more bed than that, it's probably I would give room for like 430 deep, and then wide probably about the same. 40. Yeah, I would 430 would probably be safe, but you'd be cutting it close. All right.
All right.
And the parts are so adorable as well. They have little bears on them.
There you go.
Cute
Nice.
they are.
Very cute. George says metric. Yes.
Well,
metric.
you didn't specify. I could totally I could standard that up for you. I should just carry around a tape measure. About 17 inches. No, I'm sorry.
You're a good sport, honey.
Yeah, 17. Hey, I'm here for the public. 17 inches And then I would at least give you, I mean, 17. I mean, you might be able to get away with a little less than 17 on that, but I'd go 17 at least. Because you got a bed on top of that, and you're going to have wires and all that good stuff. You could, if you were really strapped for depth, you could put one of those 60-degree deals on your bed wires. That would help out.
There you go. Mike wants to know if that is a metric/imperial tape.
Thanks for the
It
bear
is.
build. I am so happy to see another one next to the log.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. That's appreciated. And it's my pleasure. These are really fun builds. These are the most fun that I have anyway. I really enjoy building these, and they look really cool.
I think so too. I think they're really neat. Yeah.
Orange Juice over there has gotten so many miles on it. So I'm sure this one will work even better after we get it done.
All right.
Metric.
Hey, yep. Chiefs and 49ers next Sunday.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. That's our guys. Last weekend was a pretty good game. I don't know if there's any Ravens fans out there. But that was good. Looking forward to it. My mother and my sister are coming up from Eureka. I'm going to have a little party here at the house. Chris is so excited. He's a huge football fan. Huge.
So excited.
I'm just obsessed with multicolor solutions, and I'm looking for people to work with me on these projects to learn together. And what is SMUFF? Smuff?
Smurf?
SMUFF is fantastic. George pointed out that your printers are never running when you're streaming.
Too distracting.
It's very distracting.
So I try to use, I've been trying to find a better streaming setup since I started streaming. And the best thing that I can do, because it's a basement, it's pretty noisy. And actually it's a lot more quiet with my sidekick down here, because when there's somebody upstairs, it's much more noisy because, they're doing stuff. They're walking around or running water or whatever it might be. So it's a lot quieter at this point, but the furnace still kicks on. The air conditioning still kicks on. So I do put noise cancellation a tiny bit because it's a little ways over there, but I put it on there. You can tell that there's gate. Like when we stop talking, it goes flatlined. But then when you have a machine running, it interjects into that gate. So you can hear it just pop on and pop off when you listen to it back. And it's really annoying to me. So I usually try not to, I don't even have machines going over there most of the time, because when you listen to this back, I feel like it's kind of erratic. It's not pleasant to listen to. So that's one of the biggest reasons I don't have them running.
There you go. Too noisy. Dave Wilson, my ears are not pierced. I don't wear earrings, but thank you. Dave Wilson offered me some Chiefs earrings. I don't wear earrings.
He said he was making all kinds of arrowhead stuff.
No earrings. It's going to be a great game. Rick says, can't wait. Going to be a great game, I think. I think so too. We'll see how we do, This season's been kind of hit and miss for the Chiefs. I mean, we made it, but I don't think we were at our best. Yeah, just don't do any laundry. No, laundry is strictly forbidden while we stream.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Fancy. He's on this stream. I was talking to him on a chat the other day, and we were doing laundry. I'm like, hold on a second, I can't talk. It's going through the spin cycle.
Yeah. SMUFF, Smart Multi-Filament Feeder / Extruder. Thank you,
all right.
John. I did not know. He Googled it. Thanks, John.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was either.
I wasn't sure, but there it is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I love the multi-material setups. You don't know how much time of my life I have given to multi-material setups. And I almost always get my heart broken. But Like between the palettes and all the MMUs and now the chameleon and tool changing and all that stuff. I love the idea and I like to invest time in it, but it's not an easy thing to do.
There you go. Make sure that the throat on that dragonfly is tight, otherwise it'll come loose later around the V6 neck mount.
Yes, we are.
Dave Wilson wants to know if you want some Chiefs earrings.
I don't need.
I think
any
he's gonna
Chiefs
pass
earrings.
on that one. I don't think he'll
Thank you,
forgive you
Dave.
for that one, Dave. Have you?
And Dave, I still have your Extruder. It's on the list of things to do. I'm going to get to that, I promise. I just haven't had time yet. I think it would make a good video though, so I'll get it.
Somebody said they bought the Rode USB Mini. We have one of those. Has the interface that works really well for, I think, for sound blockage. That's good. You know. Let's see.
Something else you can spend a ton of money on, audio and mics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for OBS. Okay, what do we got? So, voltage-wise, I thought about just running everything 24 volt just to be safe, because I'm not sure what kind of board we're going to have yet. But they're not near as quiet as the 5-volt ones.
Hackmonkey says, I just threw in the towel on my chameleon and took it off the Prusa Mini. I bought an A1 Mini yesterday to pick up the slack on multicolor client projects. My ERCF needs rebuilt. Dave Wilson has 3 broken now. 3 broken extruders.
Oh, man. So here's a pretty nice 24-volt fan.
He says he's very upset with Prusa and the MMU2 power issue and MK3, MK4 delay. Hackmonkey is.
Yeah, the power issue was one that I tried to tackle. And I hear you. It takes a long time for those guys to get anything spun up.
Yeah. Says Jeremy says I love Jeremy Humphrey says I love the simplicity of Chameleon, which is why he likes that though, which is why he's very intrigued. It is simple, but kind of takes a lot of messing. It seems like.
Yeah, I really want it to work. I
Yeah.
really do.
Huh.
But we're gonna give it as much energy as we can. I think we can make it work. I just don't know how reliable it's going to be in every situation. But then if we can get it clipping, if we can get the filament clipping going, I think we'll have this thing figured out. But you remember also that there is another version coming of the Chameleon, and I'm not sure what the differences are, but I have faith in Bill and what he makes, so that might be a game changer as well.
Mike says these barbs suck.
Yeah, Mike has been struggling with the filament barbs that hold the tubes in with the Chameleon. I haven't had any issues, but they are somewhat temperamental. I still want to. A lot of times on these projects, I'll work with somebody else. Like I'm working on the same thing that they are, and we'll kind of struggle together. And Mike is one of my buddies on that, and we've been working on the Chameleon together. And the only problem is the person I'm working with, the problems they're having bug me more than the ones that I'm having. So now I'm sitting on the couch at night thinking, I wonder why Mike's is doing that. so that issue has actually been bothering me. So I would really like us to figure that out.
Jeremy Lucas is working on the V1 co-print MMU. What is that? Do you know?
Co-print MMU. Is that like the Kickstarter one that people were talking about? I don't know that one. I mean, that name sounds familiar, but I don't have any experience with it.
It's very close to the Chameleon on setup.
Okay.
Hashtag blame Mike. Mike's on the struggle bus. Hashtag blame Mike. Both of you are on the struggle bus. You guys have been on the struggle bus for a few weeks now, but it's sorting itself out, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm tempting fate at this point. I've probably taken it too far, like I got it working and now I'm kind of like, oh well, maybe this will work too.
Yeah.
And getting a little too cocky maybe.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to figure out what's going on with Mike's. So Greg says, Noctua fans, you could use a 14.
I missed it. Where? Oh, on the directions. I'm trying to keep an eye out for Greg's comments in case he has something. No, I just thought, I was like, did I miss it?
No.
No.
I was looking at
I'm trying to watch for you, Greg, in case you have something important to tell Chris.
He says you can use a 14 on this one, but does it have... I just want to make sure I don't get too long a screw and break the part.
Jeremy Humphrey says on my buffer I use reverse Bowden tubing, which is 3 millimeters in side diameter, and it was very helpful.
Okay.
Cool.
Good info. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So these are a little longer. So let's do...
I got email to switch the Prusa XL order. I have a 2-head, just debating if changing to 5-head now. The 2 to 5 kit would be about $200 more if I upgraded later, but stripping to upgrades is probably a pain. So he's got an opportunity to get a 5-head. A 2-head now, 5-head. Tough call.
I think... I don't know. It depends what you do, right?
What do you think of the 5-head?
Well, here's the problem. So, the 5-head is amazing. So I've used the single version. It's fine, but it's just another 3D printer, really. I mean, it works. It's nice. It's bigger. It's fine. But then when you go to multi-tool, it just changes everything. But I think if I had two tools, I would go, this is pretty sweet. But you know what would be really cool? 5. So I think it would it's like 3D printing. You have 1 and then you have to have 4. I think if you had 2, you'd just be like, I could really use 1 more. So if I was going multi-head, it all adds a lot of cost. And then going to 5 is even more. But I don't know. It'd be hard for me to resist. If I had the money, it would be hard for me to resist going all the way to 5, I think. It's just really cool.
Dave Wilson says they're not selling the heads yet by themselves. I'm sure they will eventually. They got to sell all those printers first.
Yeah, I mean, if they can ever get through the backlog of orders and stuff, I'm sure they'll start selling all that stuff individually, but we'll see when. I mean, I don't know. I guess the Mark IV has been selling like crazy. I mean, I guess they've been doing really well on that. So, I mean, I don't know how many things they can... And they're still selling Mark IIIs. I don't know how many different platforms they can manufacture.
Yeah. He's thinking to just go with the 5 up front.
I think that's probably best.
Probably.
If you can swing it, you won't be disappointed.
I'll say you don't want to regret not getting it if you can swing it. I mean, if you can afford it,
right?
There's
nothing wrong with the 2. It's still cool,
mm-hmm.
Especially if you were interested in doing a lot of support material. I think that's where the 2 really shines. So you load up one with whatever material you want to use, and then use the other one for supports. Because you could use PETG supports on PLA. You could do soluble. You could do quite a few different things. Or if you wanted to do like flexible and a stable filament like PLA, PETG, if you wanted to mix those 2, that would be really good for 2, if you had a use case. But 5, just opens up so many doors.
Mm-hmm. Mike keeps 2 PLA and 2 PETG and 1 TPU on his XL.
There you go. Perfect
Does
mix.
the XL come as a full kit like the MK4 and the MK3?
Not a full kit, but it's pretty kiddish. I believe all of the next extruders, all of those come assembled. They don't allow you to put those together because it is kind of a slog. But and I shouldn't call it a slog. It's a slog for me. There's a lot of components in there that have to be just so, or it's not going to work. The kit, the XL, what do they call it? Semi-assembled or something like that. It's a bottom plate, uprights, a top plate. There's still enough to put together, but not like a full nuts and bolts kit like the old school Mark III, Mark IV sets are.
There you go. Somebody said, didn't Prusa just announce that the head upgrade kits for the XL are available to order now?
The next extruder kits are available, but that's not just well, tool head kits are available, not just the next extruder. So the tool head kit comes with the dock, the board, the hot end assembly, the cables, all of the stuff that you need to install it on the XL. You take it out of the box, you bolt it down, you've got another head. And they're like $500 each. So they do have those, but they don't have just the extruder portions for sale yet.
There you go. My use case will be a teacher aid that has 2 colors, but I have seen another thing that would be cool to do that 5 colors would be good for. I'd actually like to wait till a MK2. There you go.
Well, that's another thing too, and I've talked about this with many folks. What's XL S going to look like? What's XL S Plus going to look like? Because that's what Prusa does, right? I mean, they hang on to platforms for a long time.
Yeah.
So, you never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're getting there.
Yes.
How you doing on warmth? Are you cold? Are you?
I'm a little chilly.
We could kick the heater on over there if you want. It's over on the other side, but I could roll it over for you.
It'll be all right. I'll be okay.
I'll make it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is lined up awesome. Cool.
Hi, Nightcore. Welcome.
Hello.
The early adopter issues of Prusa XL MK1, the Prusa XL MK2 would be good, but I don't think it'll be out for a while.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
they trickle their stuff.
Takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that that's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. I get it.
Yeah.
And I am a Prusa fan. I'm not going to hide that. I like what they do. I like the folks that work there. I have many friends, personal friends that work for them. So their success is, directly related to the livelihood of people that I know and care for. So I have a little bit of interest in it, but the fact that they continue to support the platform, they are always. It might be slow, and I know it is slow, but they are always actively working it. They will come out with stuff that they released 6 years ago that still gets a bump. If they can do it, they will make it happen. So kudos for that. I know it makes things take forever, but they really do put a lot of effort into a lot of this stuff. So that's cool to see anyway. But on the other hand, there is always something to be said for a machine that you can buy right now that costs, a reasonable amount of money. You can throw it down, hit a button, and start printing on it. And if you can get that, then, and that's what you need, do it.
There you go. Prusa MK4S. When?
I actually didn't get a Mark III until it was already a 3S. I believe I ordered one. I was like 7 or 8 months before I ordered one. I actually ordered one, and I believe they announced it while my order was still in the hopper. So they're like, anybody that ordered in between these dates is going to get the S version. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
That'll
So,
work. Yeah.
So yeah, it came on relatively fast with the 3. I don't know about for the 4 or the XL. Okay, 18s. How are we doing on time?
12:09.
1:37. That's how long we've been on.
Oh.
Hour and 30. Oh, that's fine.
Hour and
Yeah,
37.
time's good.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. You
All right.
want anything?
Uh-uh.
All right. I'll be back.
Okay. So I'm just finding fans and things that I think are going to work. Again, I'll reiterate, I am concerned about what voltage we're going to end up with. So this is going to be powered by 24 volt like a regular Prusa would. But depending on the main board we use, we could, in fans on an actual Prusa machine are 5 volt. Mark III is 5 volt. And I have some of those. But depending on the board that we put on it, we might not be able to jump up and down in voltage like I would like to easily. So I wanted to cut that, for now, I wanted to cut out that variable, and I'm just going to go with 24 volt fans. But they're a little bit miscellaneous. They're not like a Noctua fan or a Sun-On fan that would be very consistent. So we're just going to use the fans that we have available at the moment. And we can always switch them out. But that's what I'm doing now, trying to piece together some fans and hardware that's the right size to fit our setup. So it's a little Frankenstein-y. Mark 3S, 3S Plus. Pricey for what you see. There's a lot of problems at the moment. Yeah, and being part of like the testing and everything, I have a little bit different perspective, I guess, on a lot of the issues, because it's like, you know, we reported that who knows how long ago, and I'm not aware. I'm not involved in social media enough. You think I would be, but I don't look around enough to see what actual users are having problems with, because a lot of that I assumed was already fixed because it was fixed, right? Like in my mind, it was fixed, but then I realized that it's a lot slower to get out to the public. So all I can tell, you know, I can't give you any. Technically, the beta program is over. Technically, I have not like been officially released from any NDA or anything like that, which, you know, is neither here nor there. But all I can really tell you is, again, they're actively working it. I just hope it finds its way to the community as fast as it possibly can. But, you know, with all of that comes caveats. They want to make sure they get it to you without injuring anyone, or, you know, making sure it's done correctly. And you're back.
I'm back. What'd I miss? Anything?
Nothing. Talking about the XL being pricey for the issues that it has, and I don't. It is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. What else is new? There's over 100 viewers watching.
Good.
Nice. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching.
So right now we are loading the Pinda probe so that we can do our bed leveling. It has been loaded. Fans are on. Make sure. Greg actually put like a spot where you can run your zip tie through to hold the wires. That's awesome. Good thought.
All right, folks. What's for dinner tonight? What's
We're there, huh?
Yep, we're there. It's time. What's everybody having? I'll bet what you've seen in beta is far worse than what people are experiencing now. At least they haven't had issues like the Bamboo A1 power cable.
Yeah. That was somewhat surprising to me. I have seen a lot about that. Surprised that when Bamboo started to come on the scene, I had conversations with a lot of folks about it because it was a Kickstarter, and I'm a big, hey, it's Kickstarter, good luck, I'm out. And I had conversations with folks like, man, that's going to be bad if it doesn't go through. And fortunately, it did. They were right. I was wrong. Well, I wasn't doubting it, but I just, I was like, be careful. So when they came on the scene, and after that whole thing, and then they started releasing printers, not Kickstarter, I thought, man, they can really roll out some stuff. They know what they're doing. They've got the process down. Their launch was very successful, and they started developing more and more machines. I'm like, man, they're really rolling now. And then this happens where they release a machine with a bed cable that could start a fire. That surprised me. I thought that they were a little bit more, what's a good word for it? Mature as a company than that. I think that would be one of the first things I did when I designed a printer. I would, this is nothing new. We have designed printers for many years now, and we've seen all these problems. So people on their team have endured all of these things, I'm sure. But two, why hasn't this machine ran for thousands of hours before they rolled the first one out the door? Because we would have seen that cable problem, right? Unless it was different than the one they sold you, which is also not good. So I was a little surprised to see that happened. But things do happen. I mean, things get by quality control. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just hope everyone's okay. It was caught before anything really bad happened. And we'll go from there.
There you go. And for dinners, I'm getting everything. I got a spaghetti and meatballs, shepherd's pie. That sounds good.
Mm.
It's coffee time in Brazil, so just coffee. Borscht. Borscht?
What?
Not sure. Soup and
sure?
grilled cheese. We had that last week. It was delicious. Somebody's taking their kids to a new restaurant where it's all scratch items. That sounds nice.
Ooh, that looks
Pizza.
good. What was the last one? Was it borscht?
Borscht. I'll bet
Borscht.
that's it.
That's cold tomato soup.
Oh. Okay.
Not like you know, like 100% direct translation, but basically that's what it is.
There you go. Somebody said there also is people hating on Prusa because they took so long. I guess people that had expectations they should be perfect. So I guess people are nitpicking at relatively minor stuff. Well, I mean that's kind of it happens.
That's what we do
That's
as
what
humans.
that's what you guys do. Yeah. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna say it, but you said it.
I get it.
Yeah. Somebody says, I'm wondering what kind of free pass Bamboo is going to get this time. Nobody really held their feet to the fire.
Yeah, I don't know. He says beet soup. So
Oh, beet
cool.
soup.
Okay.
A Russian soup. Borscht. An amazing beet soup. Thank you.
I really like the looks of that.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
It's a fixable problem. Yeah, it's either really late or really early for you, John. He says gotta have brekkie and lunch first.
He knows you like those abbreviations.
I do. I think it's yes. Yeah.
We should
Gazpacho.
probably,
Yeah.
if we wanted to be good to ourselves.
Yeah, it's 2:20 in the morning where he is.
No,
Yes. So
we should put the thermistor and the heater in first before we go any further.
tomorrow night, I don't know about tonight. Dinner. Chris likes to keep me guessing on where it's his turn to choose, and he likes to keep me on the hook. So we're either looking at pizza and wings or Corner Cafe, which is like a home style food, like fried chicken and chicken fried steak. It's like home food, and they have a bakery there. Kind of give you an idea what
Sounds pretty good though.
it does sound very good. Actually, I could go either way. I'd be happy with either choice, but he likes to keep me in the dark. Tomorrow night, though, I'm making tortilla soup in the crock pot and mini quesadillas. So we get street shells, which is about a 3-inch shell, and I make little cheese quesadillas. They're delicious. I make a lot of them.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, we really like those. So we're gonna do that tomorrow night. That's a good Sunday night dinner. Not too costly in the calorie department, and it's still yummy. Let's see. Corner Cafe is quite yummy. Yes, it is. And you know, if you're in the mood for it, they have those giant cinnamon rolls. I mean, like the size of a plate. They're so good, and they put frosting all over them. Oh God, make you sick though. They're yummy, but they make you feel real icky when you're done eating them.
What?
I'm not seeing the comments. Are they reading? Yeah.
How many quesadillas?
I love quesadillas. How many? How many
As in how small or how many do you get? Because I like both. I like both those questions. I want 10, and they're not big enough.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna make 8 tomorrow night. I think I have enough to make 8. So 8, and they're just street shells. So just 3-inch shell. So little, pretty little. What's the snack menu for the game? Party pies, sausage rolls, wings, hoagies,
Now we're talking.
or just chips?
Now you got her going.
Well, now we got chips and dip to begin. My friend Becky's making little smokies in the crock pot. So little smokies in the crock pot, and then she's gonna make them chicken buffalo dip with tortilla chips, and then I think I'm gonna get some of that layer dip that we like with the beans and the beans and the cheese and it's like a Mexican layer dip. We're gonna do some of that, and then for dinner we're gonna have pizza and garlic bread and a little salad and a cookie cake for dessert. That's the plan. Eat the whole time.
This isn't a Super Bowl party. This is an eating stuff party.
It's really all that. It's a eating and watching commercials party, and drinking too. There will be alcoholic beverages there. Million-calorie cinnamon rolls the size of a child's head. Yes. Yes.
I like it. That is it. So it is together.
Sunday dinner sounds amazing, but I would be the only one eating. Family doesn't like tortilla soup.
I'm not a big soup person. I don't really like eating soup for a meal, but tortilla soup's pretty good.
Just thinking about dinner, maybe save a pre-cooked ham before it expires and cook some potatoes and onions to go with it. But I'm more likely to make a grilled cheese. It happens. They're easy. Smokies is that sausage wrapped in bacon. No, little Smokies are they're just little smoked sausages. They're about 1.5 inches long, and they're just little smoked, like little kielbasa or little kielbasa sausages.
Like little Polish sausages.
But when we put them in the crock pot with some people do like jelly, like a jelly, and some people just do barbecue sauce, jelly chili sauce. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. And or barbecue sauce or whatever. So no, but we do make those. Chris calls those meat candy. So you wrap the little sausages in bacon, and then you put brown sugar on them, and you put them in the oven, and they crisp up and meat candy, and they are delicious. But they're kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, so yeah. I only watch one game a year, and that's for the nachos. That's right. Will we get face paint and decorate the house? No. No, not this time.
Don't give her any ideas.
Maybe next year. Yeah, now we're...
We should get face paint. Decorate the house.
Yeah. Mike, we do a ham every once in a while. Around Easter time, they do quarter spirals at the grocery store, and it's about a 5 or 6 pound ham. And then I just buy 2 or 3 of them, and I put them in the freezer, and I cook them at various times throughout the year. So, but Chris likes ham. He's a big ham guy.
Ham's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a gift card to Honey Baked Ham. Ooh. That sounds good. You don't need a special occasion for that. You can just go get a ham.
That's the classy stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
don't wait for Christmas. Chris, explain what you're doing, please.
No problem. So, we have built the Bear Extruder, which is just a slightly different, more, I don't know what Greg would call it, more streamlined version of the Prusa extruder. It still uses Bondtech gears, and traditionally it would use an E3DV6. We have elected to use the Phaetus Dragonfly BMO as our hot end, and we have that assembled. If we could find the camera, there's where it is. I threw in some extra red parts, so we would, have a little bit more red on our black and red printer. So we built that, and now we are ready to mount it on our frame on the X carriage. And this is a Prusa Bear build, but we're using just whatever parts that we find to build it. We're pretty close to a standard Prusa Bear at this moment, but we'll see how things go. That's what we're doing.
All right. There you go.
Now back to your regularly scheduled food talk.
People are saying that you are a ham.
I
Music
am a
Dad
ham.
says Chris is a ham.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he is.
It's true.
And then I
A
think...
little bit.
Yeah. And then Mike says his ham was an accidental Christmas purchase. Online grocery selection doesn't show what physical size it was. Is it a big ham?
I'm coming over.
Yeah.
You need help eating a ham? I am your guy.
Yeah. Yeah, John's looking up the Little Smokies recipe. It looks interesting. The grape jelly and chili. It's chili jelly.
Chili sauce and grape jelly.
Chili sauce and grape jelly.
That's
It
the
is
traditional
good.
method.
It's kind of spicy sweet. It's good. I myself just prefer plain old barbecue sauce, but I like savory more than more than sweet.
Honestly, barbecue sauce and the chili sauce and grape jelly, depending on the barbecue sauce, amounts to about the same thing.
It's about the size of a softball.
Pretty
Mike's
close.
He has 2 hams about the size of a softball. Well, that's dinner tonight and tomorrow night, and then throw the other one in the freezer.
She's got all the answers.
Yeah, go for it. What is the heating element? Oh, dragonfly, right? No.
This is Fetus Dragonfly BMO. The heater is a 40-watt E3D heater, and the thermistor is also E3D.
There it is, John. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, ketchup, brown sugar, Worcestershire, garlic powder, and chili sauce. That's the one. In a crock pot, little crock pot, if you have one. I don't know what Becky's doing. I should probably do the grape jelly one. Mike says, I look forward to the day when all my spare parts are organized enough to use them like this.
You have to plan for it.
And then I wake up. I was going to say, he found all these. We've been working on this. This is our 3rd run. He's been working on this for the last 6 weeks.
Some of these parts took me a week to find.
Somebody says, seeing cymbals on the wall. I take it you play the drums.
I did it one time.
Yes, he's a musician.
I've played the drums a time or two. Those are all the cymbals that didn't make it.
Yes.
This fits just a little too tight for my liking.
Now to find a Smokies equivalent in Australia. There's gotta be. That's...
Seems so Australian. Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Australians, but
it seems like a good fit.
That's the best thing about Australians is they enjoy meat as much as Americans do. So
they're just little smoked kielbasa's. I believe that's the kielbasa sausage, and they're very small, and you'll know it when you see it. What platform can I ask questions? Well, I mean,
anywhere that
you
I'm
can
located.
hammer it out here if you like, or comment on any one of the videos. What else? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read all the comments on every video. So if you want to do it there, you could also, if you have something something specific that you need an answer on, you could send me an email. Pretty much anywhere, or fire away, and we'll contemplate.
Yeah, go for it. They are symbols of your time as a musician.
They are.
Yeah.
Plus, they were way too expensive to throw away.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I had a really nice Pearl setup, drum rack and all.
Nice.
That's what you have, don't you? And that's not a Pearl though. That's what do you got?
I have a DW. I have a set of DW drums.
DW drums.
Yeah. That never play anymore, and I know that's a travesty to anybody that's out there that plays drums. They're like, "What? And you don't play them?" I know.
How much of a cut does YouTube take if someone pays you $10 for super chat? Do you remember?
They take 30%, maybe. I don't know.
I have no. I should look.
Google it. What's YouTube's cut on super chat? Somebody's gonna beat you to it. Race them in the comments.
Know, right? I can't type one under pressure like this.
Too much pressure.
30%. 30%.
There you go.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Somebody says, dude, you have made me determined to resurrect my purple Prusa bear. Get it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He's asked if they're pork and chicken, or it's probably, I don't even know. Do you want to know? Do you really want to know what little smokies are made out of?
Let's say they're pork based. But that could mean pork, chicken, and beef.
By the power of 3.
That's right. By the power of 3. That's very common.
Pork, chicken, corn syrup. God, I feel I'm
Pork and
ashamed to
other
even
parts.
read it out loud. Pork and chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, pork and chicken.
Somebody said Peisty. Those are all Zildjian symbols.
Yeah.
All the ones that are broken. I actually switched over to mostly Sabian at one point.
Which motherboard are you going to go with?
Well, Big Tree Tech has intervened. They saw we were doing this, and they're like, hey, you need new parts. And I said, sure. And so they said, we're sending some. So we'll see what they send.
Yeah.
It'll be Big Tree Tech something. I said we were kind of partial to, you know, we could do an SKR3, but I mean, they've got all kinds of different boards coming out. So we, even an SKR3 is more than we will need probably.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they send, and we'll use that because they were nice enough to offer. So we'll give them some screen time.
Yeah. Which motherboard are you going? Oh, wait, we already asked that one. Sorry. He's got his purple bear out, and he's printing replacement parts as we speak. Yeah, get it going.
Now we start singing "Eye of the Tiger."
Mm-hmm.
Rising up.
Yeah.
That cover just doesn't fit like I think it should. I might have to consult with Greg after this. Maybe my part just isn't that good.
Hmm.
Too tight.
I have the same question. I'd love for you to be available on Discord to pick your brain and learn together on stuff. This chat stuff is a little more difficult. It is. Well, like I said,
Who was
comment. That is Jeremy Humphrey.
Okay.
He had, yeah. Smokies are made from meat and meat adjacent products. That sounds
Meat
about
adjacent.
right. There you go.
Yeah, it's hard to collaborate sometimes. I mean, like questions and stuff are good, but like, you know, like I work professionally, like a rolling conversation is the easiest way to do things, and I totally get that. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them. We do have Discord, but there's not a lot of action over there, and it's mostly just a hangout for all of the supporters. See what this one does.
Really enjoy when you stream. Always a pleasant stream to wake up to with my coffee for a bit.
Awesome.
Closing parenthesis.
And it read that. Hans, thank you very much for the 20. It's much appreciated, and we're glad. I mean, that's the whole point of these, is to just hang out and chat. That's awesome to hear, though.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But yeah, so the Discord, it turned into a reward for Patreon folks. So like even at $1, you get access to that, but it's never really taken off. I mean, there's a few diehard people that are over there, and we talk some. I did finally put it on my phone, so I get alerted when things are happening over there. But it really hasn't. There's not a lot of action over there. I mean, a lot of these people in this stream today are the folks that do most of the stuff over there on Patreon, but I don't have a good system of, you know, consciousness to, you know, go back and forth on ideas and stuff. It's too hard to manage. I would love to spend more time on all of this.
In New Zealand, you can get beef flavored sausage. Look at the ingredients, and it says meat, MEA, with a capital T, and beef flavoring. Yikes. Does that mean it's plant based, or what they have in there is not considered meat?
With a capital T?
It's spelled lowercase MEA, capital T. He's got it in quotes too, so it's like it's meat. Yeah, and beef flavoring. I don't know if that's a. I could see that 'cause they're saying like, remember that thing with Subway, and they were saying the tuna isn't actually tuna; it's just called tuna.
Really?
Yeah, there was something going on a few years ago with that. So I wonder if it's like that's classification where they don't actually consider that meat, or it's because then somebody else. Jeremy Humphrey made it. I did not put it up, Jeremy, but you're probably right. It's pork scat might be a good word for.
Ew.
Yeah, no. And then many people wouldn't eat sausage if they knew how it was made. It's better to not know.
That's what I tell my boss. Do you
Some-
really want to know how the sausage is made?
Some things just need to remain a mystery. And then somebody says, I don't eat scrapple. That's probably, yeah, I do sometimes. Found an Aussie recipe for Little Smokies. I don't know what.
It almost.
Chipotles and mini cheese Kransky. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Let's see. Meat could be possum or anything else. The tuna was dolphin. Possum. No, it wasn't dolphin, but it might have been like albacore or something like that. Pork scat is not a good word for anything.
No.
No.
There's a light over here trying to go out.
I noticed that. It's been flickering. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Am I having a seizure?
No. Sounds like the meat from any animal with beef flavoring to cover up the taste.
It's Morse code.
Chipolatzas. Flipper is tasty. Oh, that's just sad, Mike.
They call
Hi, Sean O'Shaughnessy. Welcome.
Happy Saturday, right?
Happy Saturday.
Yeah, Chris's Basement Discord channel. I need to figure out a way to get the basement bragging rights people over there as well. I'll look into that. Because I know there's a lot of folks on here, but that would help. I'll see what I can do on that. Jeremy Humphreys, remember Jeremy Humphreys, and then I'll try to get a hold of him, and we'll figure that out.
I'll write it down.
All right.
Oh, all right. That looks like breakfast sausage. We're talking about chipolatas. I think I got it this time. Looks like breakfast sausage. I don't know if that's what it is.
You can connect to YouTube quite easily. Awesome. That's good to know. It's good to know that it's easy to do, because then I might be able to figure it out. Discord integrations has not been my forte, it seems, but I'll look into it. That would be great. I think that's a great benefit for the bragging rights folks. I don't know if one of these bearings just had a burr on it, but I was having a heck of a time getting the top cover that that sandwiches the extruder in the back of the bearing. I was having a heck of a time getting it on there, but now it fits. So maybe I just didn't have it lined up quite right.
So you're talking about connecting YouTube to Discord?
Yeah. Like all of our bragging rights folks could have access to the Discord server so they can chat over there.
All right. I'll remind you when we get upstairs.
Yeah,
or I'll take a look at it.
I'll figure that out, and then I'll send a YouTube post and just to the bragging rights folks.
That'd be nice.
And
There we
can-
go.
We'll see if we can figure that out.
Mike says, kind of glad you do these streams bi-weekly because all the food talk makes me gain about 5 pounds a stream. No kidding. I'm glad that we inspire you, Mike.
I was gonna say I don't get to eat any of it. I just have to get to talk about it.
Yep. Small brekkie sausages. That's what they looked like to me from an Italian background, perhaps. Yeah, we have those. Yeah. They're good.
What are these 18s actually?
I don't understand the difference between albacore and tuna.
Well, albacore is tuna.
Is it a type of tuna?
Yeah. Did we say tuna?
Well, there was that whole Subway thing where they were saying the tuna wasn't really tuna. But honestly, and I shouldn't have brought it up because I have no other details other than that.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I'm leaving you hanging. But I don't know much more than that. But
I don't know what we were talking about.
It all tastes like chicken. That is true. I just joined that server, Chris, and feel free to reach out. There you go.
Awesome.
Maurice.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, with that kind of stuff, I'll take any of the assistance that I can get because a lot of it is confusing how all of it fits together. All right, now.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be the issue. I'm assuming that the parts I have labels on all these bins of what size screw they are. I'm assuming that I didn't put another screw in that bin and they're all what they say they are. That's probably what the issue I'm having. Yeah, that'd do it.
I also said fresh caught tuna is good. I like it too. And I like sushi. Tuna sushi grade. Yellowfin.
Tuna roll is good.
There you go. John looked it up for me. Mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna yet have been blended together by the defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna. Yikes. Canned tuna is not that expensive, folks. Just go ahead and make the...
Well, it is when you buy it by the ton, I guess.
Yeah.
Cheaper than whatever they used, which...
That's kind of scary, isn't it? Well...
What we were talking about this. What is imitation crab? Is it tofu, or is it like just fish parts that they smashed together?
I
don't
think
remember
it's
now.
plant-based, isn't it?
Because I'm thinking like along the same lines. Well,
Let's see. What is imitation crab and should you eat it? Did somebody, somebody asked if Subway won that suit. I honestly have no idea. It's a white fish that has been processed to taste and taste to look. There you go.
So it's fish something.
Mm-hmm. But still fish. There you go. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there we go. Minced whitefish.
It's what they can't use to form the fish stick.
Often pollock. That has been deboned and washed.
Well, at least they washed it.
And then combined with other ingredients, heated and formed into a crab-like cuts. Yummy.
Sounds so good.
Delicious. Actually, I don't mind imitation crab. It's all right. I don't eat it very often, but it's fine. It's fine for like dip and stuff. Crab dip. I think Discord would be neat for all of us because we're learning and we all have ideas and can share them with one another. And it's difficult in these chats. I agree.
Yeah, the chats are definitely difficult.
There you go. Somebody else. Minced fish, egg whites, sugar, salt. All sounds good to me. Yeah, canned chicken is terrible. I mean, I don't even like it for like chicken salad or dips or anything. You're better off just buying a rotisserie chicken from the store and shredding it yourself. Or even Hy-Vee takes their rotisseries and pulls it for you and shreds it for you and then puts it in little portion packs, so you can just buy some chicken. Yeah, I don't care for canned chicken. Ugh. Now, if there was an apocalypse or something, I would eat it. But, you know. Chris's basement kitchen? Perhaps.
But would I have to have a kitchen in the basement to make that happen?
I think then it would be my show.
Chris's kitchen.
Chris's kitchen.
It rhymes too much. Chris's kitchen with Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem right.
Apocalypse. I'll only eat canned chicken if there's an apocalypse. That's setting the bar pretty low. That's pretty low.
It's true.
My screws always get mixed up no matter how hard I try. I hate those little slider, the little slider dividers. Yeah, because they get...
I ended up hot gluing all of mine. I took like an hour one day and I dumped everything out and hot glued all of them. And they still mess up. So.
Yeah. Yeah, John, it's real handy. Like, we're going to do enchiladas or something like that. If you just need the chicken and you don't want to mess with cooking it, it's real handy. Now, it's at a premium, mind you, because they've done all the work for you. It's kind of pricey, but it's good in a pinch, that's for sure, to have those little packs all ready for you. Especially if you only need a cup or whatever. You buy a whole chicken or chicken breast and then you got to cook it. This is better. So, very handy. CJ's kitchen. What do you call my kitchen upstairs, honey? What do you... Mama's kitchen?
Mama's kitchen?
Mama's kitchen.
There was a game. And it wasn't called Mama's Kitchen. It was called... I don't remember what it was called, but she's really good at this game that, you make food and you give it to people or whatever.
It's one of those time management games.
Yeah, and I'm like, Mama's Kitchen.
Mama's Kitchen.
I never call... That's one thing you have to know about me. I never call anything by the name it was created with. I always come up with a way better name and I call it that. So Mama's Kitchen. Mama's Kitchen.
Mama's Kitchen.
All right.
Canned chicken is great if you have no sense of taste or decency. Or it's an apocalypse.
Give me some of that.
I thought the imitation crab meat was like shark.
Like shark?
No.
All right. Is there anyone else in the let's talk about really serious stuff here for a minute. Is there anyone else in the chat that's rewatching every episode of X-Files like I am?
Oh God, I get a recap every day at lunch.
Don't even get me started. I'm so far down the hole here about the conspiracy. It's crazy.
Yes. Chris believes.
Well, Mulder doesn't believe right now in the series.
We're early on.
I currently do not believe. I will believe again later.
Cooking Mom. No, I don't remember the name of the game. I'm sure that there's one out there called that. Let's see. if you're buying a Prusa XL5 head, I guess the pre-packed chicken probably is not too bad. Maybe. Somebody said never watched X-Files. Now,
I didn't
True
watch it when it was
Detective.
on.
We are watching True Detective.
Well,
And
which one is that?
that's the one with Jodie Foster.
Okay, the
And
one about the Alaska.
It's
people.
really good. I'm really into it. I like that, but I like True Detective. I've seen them all and I love them. Mike says trust no one.
Trust no one.
Yeah, I really like True Detective, and we just finished Fargo. We like that one a lot. So that's a good one. And I don't know, John, have you seen have you noticed that this season is sort of connected to the first season? I mean, I think they're all a little connected, but that it's this the first season and this season have something going. And,
Of True Detective?
yeah.
What was? Tell me some of the other seasons. Like,
Well, there was the one with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, and that was the first season.
yeah, I vaguely remember that.
There was some mention Matthew McConaughey's dad, and they lived in Alaska for a while. And Matthew McConaughey's dad, they think that he's now is sort of a character, without giving too much away, is sort of a character in this season. And that spirally tattoo. That's was in the first season also. They're really they're putting it together. Yeah. So there you go. And
Interesting. That's one of those I just kind of watch it out of the corner of my eye. Not exactly sure what's going on, but pretty sure they're trying to like say that there's aliens there. I don't know.
which one? True Detective?
Yeah.
Oh,
With
it could
the
be
frozen
anything,
people.
you know. We don't know. It's got a little supernatural vibe to it.
Yeah.
I used to like X-Files, but my ex didn't like it, so I stopped watching. That's before streaming, so if you wanted to watch, you had to buy the DVD. Well, now we got Hulu. I don't know if it's Hulu where you are, but we got it on Hulu now. Have you seen the Fargo movie? Yes,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
love it. Yeah, I need to pay more attention. Yeah. Or start watching, look it up on TikTok. There's all kinds of nerds on that one that are, you know, yeah, the nerds and the conspiracy show is afoot. Yeah, there's lots of, yeah. John says, John O'Shaughnessy says, I need to pay more attention. I watched part of season 2, but lost interest and never saw season 3. You know, I don't think you need to watch one to see the other. So to watch and still enjoy, this is just, you know, that's just a little deeper dive. I wouldn't, if you got the time, great. You know, if you're snowed in, check out True Detective. You can watch it all in a day. So have it, yeah. Have I seen Harrow? I have not.
Horror.
Harrow. I've not seen that. Oh, it's a forensic pathologist. I might like that.
Forensic pathology.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Oh, and I like that guy. I haven't seen him in much. But I like that guy. I'm looking it up now. It's on Hulu. I have to check it out. Thank you. I like those sciencey shows. I mean, not real sciencey shows like Chris likes to watch. I like the pretend, like, what was that? With the Who, the band. I can never think of when I need it. I can't think of it.
NCIS.
And like NCIS, yes, and you'll know. And Jody, yeah, you'll know it. It'll come to me. Las Vegas. There was one in Vegas, and there was one where they use CSI. Thank you, Shane.
CSI.
Thank you.
Okay.
Could not come to me. Anyway, CSI. Thanks, guys. Let's see.
really long-winded story. I will try to make it Spinal Tap. Yes, give me more. I like to, as she pointed out, I like to watch sciencey shows, like, the really dry ones, because I think they're fascinating. And there's one, and it's actually, I would say, one of the more interesting ones. Like, more people would probably be interested in than just me. But it's Ancient Aliens, where they go out and they dig in the desert, and they find, well, this could have been an extraterrestrial from 500 or BC or whatever. Well, I was watching one of those one day, and some of you probably know Chris Russell. He goes as Krusty or Practical Printing on YouTube. He's a friend of mine, and I was watching one of these Ancient Alien things, and I hear, and this is a long way to tell you, like, no facts, but I hear on this show the name Tom DeLonge. And I'm like, Tom DeLonge? And I look up, and no doubt, and I've never been a big fan of Blink-182, but Tom DeLonge is the guy from Blink-182, and I guess he's like an alien conspiracy type person? I didn't know that. Well, that brings me around to the fact that Chris Russell, Practical Printing, went to high school with Tom DeLonge. And so I'm like, I get Chris on the phone, and I'm like, hey man, I'm watching this show. Tom DeLonge is some alien conspiracy guy. And he's like, send me the show. So I sent him the show. And he comes back, he's like, I couldn't watch it. It was too boring. I'm like, not even for a guy you know? He's like, I'll try again later. Well, I guess I am boring then. So he's like, I fell asleep. I'm like, okay. But anyway, that was a long way around to tell you a story about how everyone feels about the shows that I enjoy.
Fargo was an awesome movie. We loved it, and the series is really good too. It's a different story every season, which I really like that kind of stuff. Similar to True Detective, it's a different story every season. They might be a little connected, but for the most part, Mike says, "Did you just publicly admit that Crusty was your friend?"
Oh. I guess I did. I should have thought before I said things like that.
Yes. 6 degrees of separation, correct.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I watched it over a couple of weeks, the whole series. The X-Files, we're ducking back. We're talking X-Files and Fargo, and I love the guy with the hair that stands up super tall, sort of like Einstein's hair. We may not be there yet. Jeremy Humphrey says, I don't know what the Fargo movie is. I may have seen it. My mind is fried. I sit down to watch a movie and realize I've already seen it. Well, it's fairly old, Jeremy, and but it has Steve Buscemi in it. That's some of his best work.
Yeah,
He's really good.
I don't want to spoil anything, but the movie is very old. But if you've ever seen a movie where a guy gets disposed of in a wood chipper, then you've seen Fargo.
There you go. Oh, that's very distinct. And I don't think you gave anything away there. That's a very distinct scene, though.
There you go.
Yeah. I was 2 degrees from John Wayne. We met some people who took him out on a fishing boat. I don't know the word, but in that area. How fun. I knew a guy. Bad Midwestern accents. Oh, you betcha.
You betcha.
Yeah.
That's what they call a defensive wound, huh? I just think it's funny that the chief of police is huge, pregnant, and out there in the crime scene waddling along. That's what they call a defensive wound, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, Fargo is an excellent movie. Welcome back, Joel, by the way. I am 1 degree from Chris Riley. Yes.
I'll high five that.
There you go. It's yes, Fargo is definitely worth it. Even if you've already seen it, and
worth a watch.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. And yeah, the Coen brothers put together a great movie.
There's some interesting movies all in all.
Yeah. Shells.
40.
Just putting more tools and going back to finish the rail install. There you go. Oh, he's just getting tools. He's dipping in and dipping back out. Shane, I don't even think I can say it. Jimmer Naganami from Menanami is a great scene. I don't remember. I don't know that one, but and another cup of coffee.
How did he even get around autocorrect enough to put that in the chat?
Oh, I don't know. Read this one. Dell's 3D printing. Hey Chris, did you see my 8'7" Hulk I made on 2 bamboo printers?
No, I didn't. That sounds interesting though.
Oh, Seychelles. There we go. Thanks. Thank you. I thought you were telling me to say shells. I'm like, okay, shells. What's the next part? Anyway, it's from the other movie that that
Wisconsin
dude
border.
directed.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Northern Wisconsin border. There we go. Might have to check that out.
Okay. 18 210s. We're almost done for the day, I think. I got a few more things I want to wrap up. We're going a little longer than usual.
That's all right. I don't mind. We're talking Fargo.
The extruder is always the longest portion for me, anyway.
Did you get Tenet? That movie? The movie Tenet? I'm assuming. I don't know, maybe. With
we saw that. What
we did. That's that weird time movie. That's a weird one. It's got Denzel Washington's son in it.
Oh yeah.
There's something called 6 Degrees of Separation. It's where everybody's connected to one another through 6 people. It's pretty neat. Well, yes. What?
Kevin Bacon.
6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon. Tenet is a great movie. Yeah, I liked it too. But boy, is it a thinker. Don't be messing around on your cell phone when you're watching that one, because that's gonna.
Because your husband will get a lot of questions.
You're gonna miss it.
What?
Fixum Dude says only 2.5 hours. That's not even halfway through Arkansas. Sorry. Hi, Freddie from Norway. Yeah, it's a time travel. Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, it's a thinker. You gotta watch, or you're gonna miss it. That Inception has been popping up on Hulu lately too. Inception's another one of those.
I make fun of Inception so much, I feel like I should watch it again. Because everything is Inception. Like Inception. What I was making fun of the other day.
John says, oh, the old pause it. What was that all about? Yeah, well, you can't play games on your cell phone and watch the movie at the same time. You can do one or the other, but not both.
Oh, you can, but you have to have an interpreter.
Well, you need somebody that's paying attention to get. That's why he has to run X-Files through me every day at lunch.
Recap X-Files.
Get a recap of X-Files. But that, I fall asleep. We're watching it in bed before sleep.
I'm watching it on my own path.
Yeah.
So I have to recap it.
Yeah. Yeah, that Inception movie, it's good. It's real good. You gotta watch. You gotta pay attention. I went to the movie theater last Monday and watched Top Gun Maverick again. They had it on the big screen at the movie theater for cheap. So I went and watched it again. That's a good one. It's one of those kind of feel-good movies. It ain't winning any Oscars or anything, but it's one of those where you watch it and you're like, yeah, Top Gun, It's a good one. And I think...
Oh, you so and so. Square nut fell out.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not a DVR.
Yes, that's pretty much, yes.
It's not that bad, but it is kind of funny.
Dune 2, yes, I saw that. I'm going to have to watch Dune 1 again and not the original. Yeah, Top Gun, America. I was going to say, yes, you leave the theater pretty pleased that, yes, America. Yes. They are fun. And, oh, are you a pilot, John? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure I did know that. I heard that. But yeah, it's fun. It's a good movie. It's something, it's entertaining. And it's 2 hours. You know, I mean, it's really, I was talking about it with Chris. It's kind of perfect. It's not deep thought provoking. There's bad guys, but they're not pointing the finger at any one country. It's 2 hours long. It's entertaining the whole time. It's really, I mean, it's just kind of good. It's just, you know, it's not too deep. You know, it's a good movie. Top Gun has the biggest plot hole in history. There's no way 5'6" Tom Cruise could spike a volleyball over a regulation net. That's true. And there's no way he's taller than Kelly McGillis either. I heard they had him standing on a stool so that he could be taller than Kelly McGillis. He flies to Murph. John flies to Murph.
Yeah.
You told me about him.
I was gonna say, I
Now
know.
it's coming back to me now.
I know that the last time we saw John, I went, "This is the guy that flies directly to Murph."
That's cool. Yeah, the original Dune. Yeah, the worms scared me. I've been threatening Chris that we're going to watch it. Maybe tomorrow we'll watch the original Dune with the weird, and I always talk about this, the weird internal monologue that the original Dune does. And I got to rewatch the new one, the new Dune 1 before I watch Dune 2. That was another one. I was playing games on my cell phone and I missed a lot of the dialogue because it's in subtitles. So I need to watch that one again and get going. So yeah. Anyway, yes. But the original Dune, I may put that on tomorrow. That's a nice Sunday afternoon movie. Oh, he was in, well, and you are in Australia, and there are lots of poisonous animals there and stuff like that. Yeah. Ghoulies. The other movies that scared him were Ghoulies. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Ghoulies.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like every kid's nightmare too. You was scared that a critter was going to come up from the toilet bowl. Yeah. That is every kid's nightmare. I think I remember having that, thinking that too. And then what's one that scared me for a while? Pet Sematary really scared me. I mean, the book scared me, but the movie scared me too.
I was always really scared of the Chucky movies when I was a kid.
Chucky, yeah.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, that was one of the, I look back on it now, I was a little kid, and I was like 5. I look back on it now, and I think to myself, if I would have watched them, and, because I was just like scared of the video box cover, If I would have watched one of the movies, I probably would have realized how stupid it was, and wouldn't have been so scared, but.
The Leprechaun movies. You know what scared me? Jennifer Aniston's acting at the time. That scared me. What a terrible movie. But creepy little guy. Predestination. I don't think I know that one. Maybe I'll look it up.
you want to know what I'm doing, I've missed putting in one of the square nuts. So now I have to backtrack. And it's right in the center of the X carriage and very difficult to put in. My bad.
It's got Ethan Hawke in it. I might have to look that up. Or check it out. Yeah. Yeah, so I can see why snakes might be an issue for you, John. And yeah, Stephen King movies, the books are good and the movies are average. I would agree with that statement. The books are much scarier than the movies. Yeah, I like the remake of The Shining, but The Shining book I love, and not a reader. Yeah, it's a good book. The Shining book and The Shining movie, I think, should be looked at in two separate entities, because the movie is good. Stanley Kubrick, good, but it should not be. It's very loosely based on the book. I mean, not loosely. It's the premise is there, but I didn't think it was just different. Yeah. The Smiling Man with Dark Glasses and Burnt Offerings. I don't know that movie. Burnt Offerings?
Don't know that one.
Yeah. The Descent. Yeah, that's a scary one. Claustrophobia. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about movies that play on your fears like that. They make me uncomfortable. But I guess that's the point, huh?
Oh,
Maximum
no.
Overdrive. There you go. That's a good one.
The little lemon fell off the tree.
Oh.
I just happened to notice it was laying there.
Well, darn it.
It kind of looks like a lemon. If you don't know, we're cultivating fruit trees in the basement in the wintertime.
We had one fruit and now it's gone. Do you have it? Show them.
It's a demented little lemon.
It's almost yellow.
It's almost yellow.
I'll cut it open when we get upstairs. Okay. We'll take a look at it.
This thing took it's a little tiny lemon tree, and this is the first time it's ever had any kind of fruit. And it's about this tall. And I didn't expect it would actually get this big, but it was a good effort. But it was laying on the floor there.
Well, we'll take it up. We'll cut it up and see what it looks like. Needful Things, yes, was good. And The Dark Half was good too. What is the lemon fell off the tree code for it? It's literal. Sorry, guys. It's literal.
Go! The lemon fell off the tree.
Hello, Jose. How are you? Needs more water.
Agreed.
It gets it in the summer. I think it just doesn't do well at night or in the winter. I mean,
it hangs in there though.
It hangs in there, and then when we get it out, it'll flourish in the spring. So.
All right. Well, I missed one square nut, so I'm gonna have to go back and take it apart and put that in and then put it back together. But other than that, everything is together. So like we're at the part right now where we could start putting all the wires together and actually, making the housing and everything. So I'm gonna call the extruder 90% done. We did quite a bit in one stream here. So it's getting there. It's starting to look like a wiry mess. That's how you know it's almost a 3D printer. Hopefully that Hotend does a good job. We'll see. There you go.
Looks good.
What else? So,
well, I see that the parts on the extruder though clash with our That's a different shade of red,
It
and I'm
is a
not sure
different
how
shade
I
of
feel
red.
about it.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Uh, this is more of like a cherry style, like I don't know, like candy apple red maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's more of a tomato red on the.
This is printed solid red.
Mhm.
I don't know how close we could get to that. Maybe like atomic black cherry or something would be closer to that color or not. I don't know. I didn't really think about that. So maybe we need a couple more red parts.
Maybe. Progress has been made.
Progress has been made.
Yes.
All right. I think I could use some lunch.
I think so too. I'm ready. And I
Yeah.
agree with you, John. The Bachman books did translate a little better. Running Man was good. I thought Running Man and The Green Mile were good. Definitely. They turned out all right. Atomic Cherry. Now I'm switching gears on you. Atomic Cherry would look good, yes.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find a link to that. I haven't even seen any of that in a while, but I don't really pay attention to Atomic. So I'll have to look. All right. Well, I think we can leave it as there.
Alright.
We're close. We're close to, I think, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we will get all of our electronics stuffs. So that basically we finish up the extruder, we put the bed on, and then we can wire it. I'm guessing the wiring and everything will be all one stream. And then we'll have a stream after that where we just configure firmware. It's going to be super exciting.
Oh,
Yeah, that might be like a bonus stream or something, because there's not going to be you folks like hanging out with us, and I get it, but how many people want to watch 2.5 hours of screen share? I don't know, maybe some. We'll see. So we're going to do that, but 2 more streams, maybe 2 more streams, and we'll be printing. So it'll be good.
yes. All right.
All right, well, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Time to check in on Joe's mile. I saw he was doing that this morning. I figured he'd be done by now. He's like the quickest 3D printing noob. Is like the quickest builder I know. He's really good. So yeah, go check out Joe and see what he's doing.
The next stream.
Next stream is what date?
17th.
17th. All right.
On the calendar, on the 17th. Yes. So there we go. We'll try to send out reminders. We've been trying to get better about that, sending out a reminder. Tell everybody. But the 17th.
Awesome.
So there you go. The weekend after the Super Bowl with
Weekend
the
after.
Chiefs.
Yep. Where we will be the wieners or the losers.
Yeah. Hang on just a little bit before we go.
To let this come through.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking
Yes. Daytona weekend noted.
about?
That's true. Mike, you're going to have to come to Kansas City for a race. Come to the Kansas Speedway.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun. Go check it out. Go 49ers. Shame on you. I see you. I guess. Later, good people. Stay warm. Enjoy the Little Smokies. You stay cool. And I will enjoy the Little Smokies, whatever they're made of. Yeah, try not to get eaten by Aussie critters. Exactly. Ha ha ha. Yes, you're so funny, 49ers fan. Anyway, yeah, hang in there. You stay cool. And but
It's never gonna come through.
it might. It's coming. It's coming. We're hanging on just for a second.
Banned.
Banned for being a 49ers fan. Not sure I want to watch the Taylor Swift Bowl. Oh.
Who doesn't?
We're watching. She's on our team.
I'm not one.
Yeah, we love her here. We're hoping, well, if they break up, then she's going to write this awesome song about Kansas City.
Yeah, but what if this is what actually ends her and she never plays music ever again?
Oh,
Good show.
It didn't read all the dots. I was really hoping.
oh,
I would hope it
thank you
released
very
the
much.
lip. Thank you very much for the 10.
Thank you so
we
much. Appreciate
it.
it.
Thanks for hanging out.
Go KC, but not a Taylor Swift fan. You know what? That's fair. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for all the super
you.
chats. Thanks for hanging out with us and all the support, as well as all the memberships. We're gonna look at the Discord thing for the membership folks, and we'll get out an update to you as soon as we can. But as always, these are fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll continue to build. And eventually we'll have a printer that we Frankenstein together. It's going to be awesome. So thanks all. Have a good rest of your weekend.